So folks, we're going to invite some of you to come on inside here, maybe get out of the sun. I know you may not want to do that right now, but please come.
Just so you know, we are booing you.
This isn't the spray zone up here, just in case you're wondering. All right. Well, good afternoon. This is a great day to gather. My name is Greg Dooling. I'm the CEO of Capital Region Housing, and we're very pleased to have all of you join us. Guests, partners, board members, and so forth, and we'll acknowledge some of the folks that have joined us here today. Before I do that, certainly want to acknowledge where we are standing today. And it is a land that was traversed many years before many of us have arrived here, so we want to acknowledge that it is the traditional territories of the Cree, Sato, Blackfoot, Métis, and Nakota Sioux. And we recognize that they made this home well before we made it home, and want to acknowledge that. As I said, I'm Greg Dooling, the CEO of Capital Region Housing, and we have many staff that are here today that have joined us. I do want to point out our safety officer, who is just over there. Mike, if you can wave. All right, if something goes wrong, just follow him, okay? If the wind picks up, yes, we're going to move. We've tried to make this site as safe for this interaction and this announcement and sod turning as possible, and we'll continue to do that. Today, we do want to acknowledge a number of elected officials who are with us today. Very pleased that they were able to join us. We have a couple of MPs with us today. MP Kelly McCauley, just right here. And MP Matt Genereux. Thank you very much for being with us. We're, of course, very pleased to have a representative from our provincial government here, Minister Casey Madu, who will be sharing a few words. Councillor Mike Walters will also be sharing a few words here today. We were expecting MLA Cyril Turton. I'm not sure if he has arrived. I did not see him. We do have a number of our board members here today, and of course, our Secretary of the Board and past Chair, Scott Russell, who will be sharing a few words, is sitting up front. And then we have three other board members, Karen Oshry, Gabrielle Batiste, and Issam Salah. They have joined us today as well. So we have, I believe we have some community partners. So we'll talk a little bit about our community engagement here at this location. And part of that was engaging with the Lendrum community. So I'm just wondering if we do have, I haven't been able to see the president of the Community League, Erin Sawyer. Is she arrived? Oh, fantastic. Welcome. And we're going to invite you later on to come to our sod turning as well. So when we do that part, fantastic. We have with us our general contractors, RMS Builders, as well as our prime consultant, RPK Architects. They have joined us as well, so please welcome them. So welcome. We're here to kick off this construction. We're hoping to see the equipment making this hole a little bigger come August 1st, and we're very excited to be announcing it today. Our formal program will take about 20 minutes, and then we're going to proceed over to the sod turning for some photos and so forth, and then followed afterwards by any questions the media might have some of our guests. The masks have been provided, hand sanitizer. If you don't have a mask, we have one for you. Please avail of that. Our vision at Capital Region Housing is that everybody's home. And it doesn't matter what your income, where you have arrived in Canada from or Edmonton from. I joke often, being from Newfoundland, I moved to Canada in 2008, that many of us have found ourselves here in Edmonton and made this home. Well, we want everybody to be at home. All of our customers, our tenants, our future tenants. It's our mission to provide safe and affordable housing. We want our families to be able to put down roots when they move into one of our buildings. and contribute to inclusive communities. Today, we're here to do just that. We're adding to our near market portfolio the construction of 120 units. I was sharing with the minister some of the design features up here on our boards. The first 2 floors will be townhomes. It is the second such design that we have here in the city. On the north side in Londonderry, which is further along in construction, our first 2 stories are actually a stacked townhome. So it's like you're living in a 2-story townhome. And so we wanted to create spaces that feel like a family home. And that's what's very important to us. We're also creating jobs here in Edmonton. In fact, we hope to create at least 120 construction jobs on this site here. That's about 35,000 hours of labor to build this. That's a lot of hours that will contribute to the local economy, that will pay the wages of folks that provide for their families. As owners and project managers of the Lendrum redevelopment, there's a number of things of this property that we're extremely proud of. We've talked about the 2.5 time density that we've had here, the 2 stories. We're near schools. Hopefully you'll see the LRT go by in a moment. We're just next door to the LRT stop. In fact, the design has a pathway through the site that connects to the LRT blockway just north of us here. Almost 40% of the homes will be 3 bedrooms or more. So again, we're focusing on families here. What we're most proud of course, is that for tenants and families that need a place to call home that they can afford, we get to provide that to them. Before I invite our first guest, I'll tell you a story. One of our leasing clerks was offering a rental unit in the last year, calling this mom, a single mom of 2 girls, and said, "I've got a place for you." I said, "I need to tell you the location." And she put down the telephone. She said, "Hang on a second, I need to get a pen and paper." So she put down the telephone, and our leasing clerk could actually hear her. And this is what she said to her daughters: Girls, we have a home." That's why we do this. So we're very excited to create more homes for more families here in the Lendrum community. Very pleased, of course, to have the Minister of Municipal Affairs with us today. I'm going to invite him to come and share a few words. Thank you.
Thank you, Craig, for your leadership. Good afternoon, everyone. Before I begin, I do want to acknowledge some of our elected officials present. As we have heard, we do have the Member of Parliament for Edmonton River Bandy, Matt General. We do have the Member of Parliament for Edmonton West, Kelly McCauley. We do have Councillor Michael Waters, whom I understand is the councillor for this area. So I do want to thank the Capital Region Housing for hosting us at this wonderful site. It is my pleasure to join you and bring greetings on behalf of Premier Jason Kenney and Seniors and Housing Minister, the Honorable Josephine Pond. There is no question that this is an important day for Edmonton. Right here, we stand. Construction is about to begin on 2 housing facilities, providing people and families with access to safe, affordable housing. The new Lendrum affordable housing facilities will also give their residents easy access to daycare, green space, and access to transit. This project will also help boost our economy by creating an estimated 286 jobs. What a great news for our community. Like Capital Region Housing and the City of Edmonton, our government is committed to affordable housing. I know that sometimes there is this debate out there as to whether or not government is committed to affordable housing. But I do want you to know that there is no question that there are our citizens, our residents, and who would need to have access to homes that they can afford. That is a priority of government. We know that there's a growing need for affordable housing in Alberta. And as Minister of Municipal Affairs, this is something I get to hear from across our communities. But just yesterday, our government announced an independent affordable housing review panel. And the reason for that is very simple. Speaking from my own vantage position as Minister of Municipal Affairs once again, oftentimes, I have heard taking meetings of all kinds of ideas from different stakeholders. There seems to be a view as to who really is responsible, what ought to be the nature of the relationship between all of the various stakeholders. Do we have clarity on the question of affordable housing? We know that the need exists, but we have clarity in terms of the expectations among government and the stakeholders. So we are bringing experts together to explore innovative ways to make Alberta's affordable housing more effective and help meet the growing demand. The new Lendrum affordable housing development will certainly make a great difference in the lives of many Albertans. I look forward to following this project progress and seeing it become a reality in this community. And I do want to thank the Community League. Especially, I see that the president of the league is here for their generosity and cooperation in working with Capital Region Housing to make sure that this project is a reality. And so with that, I do want to thank all of you for being here this afternoon. I look forward to this project moving ahead. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister Madu. It is a privilege to have you with us today and to make your acquaintance for the first time. We do appreciate the commitment of our government as they continue to support us in building more affordable housing throughout Edmonton to meet the many families that are in need. Before I invite Councillor Walters up, I do want to say that this project had a robust community engagement process. And we spent a number of months, the better part of 18 months meeting with the community and stakeholders and partners to make sure that what we built here was something that the community could be proud of, met the needs of our families that were going to move in, but also added value to the community. And so some of the design features are actually design features that the community asked for, such as the pedway that walks through our property to the LRT, the cafe, the daycare, how the design steps down so the streetscape isn't so imposing. All these things were part of that community engagement. Councillor Walters was a big part of that and initiated with us a unique consultation that I would love you to make reference to, but we're very pleased to have Councillor Walters here today to share with us. Welcome.
Thank you, Greg, for that, and I will indeed make reference to that. But I just firstly wanted to recognize everybody who took the time to be here today, everybody who's worked so hard on bringing this project to this point. So thank you to all of you for being here. Thanks to MPs Macaulay and Generou, and it's nice to be with you, Minister Madu, today. It is a pleasure to be here on behalf of myself and Mayor Iveson and our whole City Council as we celebrate the beginning of the next step in this Lendrum development. The vision for this project has been coming together for a very long time, so it's nice to finally be standing here with you all this afternoon. Safe and affordable housing, there's no doubt that safe and affordable housing is essential to the well-being of our city. So when we talk about economic prosperity, we talk about health, we talk about healthy citizens and vibrant, safe communities, affordable housing is the cornerstone of each of those objectives. And that's why our council and our mayor have been so committed to this issue for the past number of years. It's actually estimated that in Edmonton, nearly 60,000 households pay more than 30% of their income on rent. So that puts them in definitive core housing need. We know that about 24,000 of those households pay more than 50% of their income on rent, which puts them in a fairly dire position. We increasingly understand that a large larger and larger number of people are paying between 75 and 100% of their income on rent. And you can imagine what kind of quality of life a family has, not being able to afford sports, extracurricular activities, clothes, food, all those essentials, when all of your check or your income is going to housing. So these statistics are more and more startling to us all the time. And that's why we appreciate governments that are focused on improving the economy. So I'd like to give a nod to Minister Madhu for his emphasis on economic improvement for our province and our city, because knowing that when people's paychecks improve, their ability to afford housing and have money for those extras matters a lot. But we also know that families struggle and are on fixed incomes and have barriers that prevent them from earning more, which is why projects like this, even in good times, which we anticipate to come again someday to Alberta, even in good times, these housing projects are essential to the safety and well-being of our city. So this is the great work that we're celebrating here today. So this redevelopment, which will include 120 homes, will provide that very much needed access to safe and affordable housing for families in our city and here in South Edmonton. It helps increase density in our community and support the overall vision of our city to build vibrant public and vibrant urban spaces. I did want to talk a little bit about the public engagement, which was a pretty cool experience, and I wanted to give a nod to someone who's here today. So I don't want to take credit for the idea, because I actually stole it from a gentleman who's sitting right over here named David Berger, who can give a wave, him and I had a pretty interesting conversation some time ago about, you know, how do we break through what seems to be the typical debate that occurs around an affordable housing project? We know there's a need, and there's often a lot of fear associated with it coming into communities. Unfortunate. I actually grew up in part in social housing, so I often wondered why people were so afraid of us. You know, my mom, and she made us do her homework and cut the grass and help out in the neighborhood, and it was always a bit of a weird thing to me to know that there were communities that were skeptical about having this kind of housing in their neighborhood. But nonetheless, it's a reality that we face. And this engagement process really did bring together Greg's team, Aaron, Gary Golden was the president at the time, who spent a lot of time on this. So the developer in this case, the Community League, and we brought in 3 independent, sort of nonpartisan panelists to kind of look through and sort through all the issues and questions and concerns that people had about what this project might mean for the community, both negatively and positively. And, you know, that really focused discernment over a significant amount of time created what I would describe as a peace among that, for that question, where often at public hearings we face a bit of a showdown between the developer and the neighborhood about something that's being built in their neighborhood. And just taking a little bit of extra time and having very meaningful conversations about how this will actually improve this community. And in a testament to Lendrum, they were far more concerned about how these folks would fit into the community and succeed in this community than what it would mean negatively for their community. So I wanted to ask you all to give a round of applause for the Community League and for the people who participated in that process. You know, quickly to close, you know, Greg mentioned it, Minister Madhu mentioned it, you know, close to 200 jobs created with this project. When you think about the City of Edmonton's overall shovel-ready program, which we've been advocating very fiercely, as Minister Madhu knows, to the provincial government, 5,000 units is what we've been looking to build in the next 5 years in the City of Edmonton. 5,000 units is 3,200 jobs, and we were very grateful for the announcement of Terwillegar Drive the other day, so thank you for that on behalf of all the residents who live in South Edmonton. That's 865 jobs, I think is what I heard you say. 3,200 jobs associated with 5,000 units of affordable housing in our city, which can't be understated, and is an important social investment in our city, but also an extremely important economic investment as well. So I'd like to note that. So, you know, we have a lot more work to do. This is a great day for our city. It's a great day for Capital Region housing. We hope to have many more sod turnings like this across the city in the coming years. The question about who is responsible is a really excellent question, Minister, and the City of Edmonton has attempted to answer that by saying, I think we all are responsible. Our communities, our social organizations, our housing organizations, all levels of government, working together collaboratively like has happened on this project is really a great testament to what we can actually achieve in our city. So congratulations to all of you who have worked so hard to make this happen. And most importantly, congratulations to all the people who will get to live in this magnificent project and be part of this wonderful community. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Councillor Walters. It takes many partners to achieve something like this, and in no small part, our board of directors are strategic leaders, and they create the environment that we get to play in, the sandbox, as it were. And so we are very appreciative as a leadership team, a management team, of our board of directors who partner with us as we look forward around the corner, as it were, to what the needs are and so forth. To point out the need here, we actually have 10,000 families on our waiting list today that need affordable housing here in this city that have reached out to us and said, can you help us? And so this is a small part. The board has a big part in it, so we want to invite our past chair and current board secretary, Scott Russell.
Thank you, Greg. As Greg mentioned, I am Scott Russell and part of the board of Capital Region Housing. It's a pleasure to be here today to see this project underway. As Greg noted, our role as a housing agency is to help families get a home. For many of our customers, their first home is with us, and we recognize the significance of that milestone. As the board, we do everything we can to support Capital Region Housing staff with guidance to help families achieve their goals of a home. Recently, our board met with the Capital Region Housing staff as part of our annual strategic planning session, and this year marks off our start of a new 5-year strategic plan taking us to 2024. This plan keeps us focused on our core business, which is to provide affordable housing. 2 strategic targets in that plan relate directly to today's sod turning event. The first is the introduction of 2,500 new affordable homes in the Edmonton region, and the second is increasing our partnerships with organizations to deliver affordable housing in an innovative and efficient manner. As Greg mentioned, this project will add 120 new affordable homes. And we have more properties coming on stream in both South and North Edmonton. We also look for innovative ways to build homes, including joint ventures and partnerships to secure our financial stability. And as a recognized leader in the housing sector, we need to demonstrate sustainable solutions to deliver affordable housing. I want to thank our partners on this project, RMS Builders and RPK Architects. And on behalf of the board, I want to thank the City of Edmonton, the City Council, and the Government of Alberta for their continued support of affordable housing in Edmonton. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Scott. You know, government leaders, board leaders, even CEO leaders can't get this done by ourselves. And so before we go and do a little photo op, I would like to acknowledge the CRH staff that are with us today. If you're sitting, please stand. If you're standing, please just give us a quick wave. All the team that day in, day out, they serve close to 25,000 Edmontonians who live in 5,200 homes that we manage and another 3,000 rent subsidies that we administer. They do it day in, day out. They get the units turned over, they get them fixed up, they move those families in. And if you don't follow us on social media, you should, because there's great stories there of even during this pandemic, we've continued to move families into homes that they can afford. And so very proud of it. We can't do it without them, and we thank you. Some are here today, some are sitting in front of their screens at home, of course, because we've been all remote. So it's nice to see some faces today. Well, we want to invite Aaron and MP Matt Genero to join us, as well as our speakers today. We're going to do a little bit of a sod turning, so the media can come and join us there. And folks, you can watch or you can come over, your pleasure. That will conclude our formal part of our program, and our guests will be available to the media following the sod turning. So, thank you.
sanitize those shovels, Greg?
It's all ready, yeah. Everything's ready to go. Okay.
Councilor Walters, Craig mentioned, we can't stress it.
Matt, please. We're separated. All right.
Yeah, you got 6 feet between you. You're good.
Okay, absolutely. Aaron, please just go right there. John, why don't you join me over here? Folks, the divot has been created.
Oh yeah, we can.
You
This
don't
is how
have
weak
to
they
lean
think
into
we
it
are.
too much. Thank you, Kelly.
Yeah,
for
I know. I
running
can't
so
do
well.
anything for myself anymore.
And so we're going to do on a count of 3 to pull it out of the ground and pose with it in the air.
On three?
On 3. So, ready? 1, 2, 3.
There you go.
Here we go. All right.
Hey, bravo. Well done. Okay. Okay. Pleasure.
You really want to come again?
You're gonna fill that hole behind you.
Yeah, let's do it. Okay, we'll do it one more time.
One more time.
Ready, folks?
There, I'll get
On 3. 1, 2, 3.
No, it's okay.
Here we go. Excellent. All right. Yes, thank you so much for being here. Rita, if you have any questions of our guests, please.
There was a couple here before. Start, if I'm remembering right. Hi, how are you? Yes.